And if you go to South Kirby now, you'll get some of the old miners when you say, Jimmy Savile's done well, hasn't he? Ah, and you'll look around and you'll say, he's not what you think you know. The forces of darkness are at work there. It was a very good fix that I did with a young lady at Buckingham Palace. I was at a reception at Buckingham Palace. That's the place where the Queen lives. And Prince
I know, they keep the Queen there, yes.
And it's not an easy gaff to penetrate. Very, very...
What's that? That an easy...
It's not an easy place to get into. That's right.
Yeah.
So I was at this reception, and there was a very nice lady and gentleman said to me, my daughter would be so pleased to know that I've met you and this, that and the other. And I said, oh yes. Where is she? And they said, she's in the back of the car. I said, what, in the boat? And they said, no, we've sneaked her in the back of the car so she can say she's been in the palace courtyard. I said, and you've got her stuck out there? I said, oh, leave it to me. And they went, no, please don't. And they grabbed me. I said, no. So I went to see a minder and said, they've got this situation and I'm bringing a friend in. So I said, listen, who's going to object to you? So I said, all right. Now, the palace staff are the most excellent people, right? On the way out, I explained very briefly what I was doing. Leave it to us. So I went out into the car park, which is a courtyard inside the palace, and I shouted the young lady's name. Next minute, she's holding my arm, and next minute we're marching up the steps right into the palace. Well, the staff had done it right. The two footmen opened the two great doors, and inside there were all the majors and the colonels and the household staff. It's a most elegant situation and tremendously rewarding, right? And of course, when she sees this spectacle of the carpet and the people all standing there, and they all give a little graceful dip as she walked by, and she was now hanging onto me like a lifebelt, understand? Right? And we walked up the steps and into the room where the reception was, in a room called the Bow Room, and fantastic look. Prince Philip, who was a marvellous geezer, happened to be just standing inside the door, parroting to somebody. So I went.
It's a pre-arranged signal, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, no, there's not a lot of people go inside the palace. So he slung a butcher's, right, like this. See me, and I do the nod. Put a kid away. So he doesn't know where this young lady's appeared from, with a long coat on and bumpy shoes, but he has given the beautiful smile, and she's gone, right? That was a fix-it that I really enjoyed, and I think she might remember it, even if her parents and herself are watching tonight, she might even remember it to this day, and I think a lot longer.
His job, I mean, he was presenting Top of the Pops, he was doing BBC shows and one something or another. Had Jim Will Fix It, was a show where youngsters wrote in and said we want something arranged we've always wanted to do, and I'd done that show a couple of times. So yeah, I wouldn't say I knew him because I just found him unapproachable. This was not a human being, it's a caricature, some strange caricature, but. And it's already been said in the paper, so I'm not taking any great risk for myself. Anybody in that era just sort of, we know he's up to something. He just had a reputation of being, I think, a groper, really. I'd certainly never heard anything about that. I mean, the most awful aspect, which is the idea of molesting kids in hospital. I mean, that is just unbelievable, and sort of bribing his way out of it by giving £1 million to the hospital. And that is staggering. But the idea that youngsters were a bit of a prey, everybody knew that, which is why it's so extraordinary that there's any sort of mystery. When the ex-head of BBC, Mark Thompson, the other week said, well, it's the first time I don't know anything about it. Head of BBC and you don't know that? Don't be ridiculous, that's absolute nonsense. So there's any sort of mystery. When the ex-head of BBC, Mark Thompson, the other week said, well, it's the first time I don't know anything about it. Head of BBC and you don't know that? Don't be ridiculous, that's absolute nonsense. There's any sort of mystery. When the ex-head of BBC, Mark Thompson, the other week said, well, it's the first time I don't know anything about it. Head of BBC and you don't know that? Don't be ridiculous, that's absolute nonsense.
Jedzie z nami do domu. Następny biegnie, uciekamy.
Janek szalony biegnie. A tak! Jego tata. Ale dupa kastrętna.
O, czemu one mają taką dupę? O fuj! Czekaj!
Jezu!